Chinese
hacking group has been spying on critical infrastructure networks across the United States.
Volt Typhoon. The name alone has shaken governments, military analysts, and cybersecurity experts across the world. A stealth unit hiding inside the world's most essential networks, quietly planting its roots, quietly preparing for a moment the rest of us may never see coming. This is not a typical hacker group. Volt Typhoon doesn't smash through firewalls or unleash chaotic malware that leaves a trail of destruction. Instead, it slips in silently, like a shadow moving through cables and routers, leaving almost nothing behind. Over the past few years, investigators have uncovered a disturbing pattern: power grids, communication lines, transportation systems, internet routers in everyday homes, all showing signs of someone scouting them, someone mapping them, someone preparing them. But here's the part that terrifies analysts the most. Volt Typhoon doesn't use custom malware. No viruses, no suspicious files. They use the tools built into the system, the same tools administrators use every day, making them almost impossible to detect. This isn't random hacking. This is reconnaissance, pre-positioning, a quiet infiltration designed to be activated only when the world is distracted, or when a geopolitical crisis erupts. Some intelligence officials believe that if conflict were ever to break out in the Pacific, especially around Taiwan, Volt Typhoon's silent footholds could be used to cripple communications and delay military responses long before the first shot is fired. Today, we dive into the storm, who Volt Typhoon is, how they operate, and why their presence inside critical infrastructure may be the most dangerous warning sign of our digital age. Volt Typhoon did not appear out of nowhere. Long before their name reached headlines or government briefings, they were already moving through networks like a silent current, unnoticed, unchallenged, and completely invisible to the outside world. For years, they left no fingerprints, no chaotic break-ins, no vandalized websites or digital ransom notes, just quiet footprints buried deep inside the systems that keep nations running. Researchers eventually traced their earliest activity to around the year 2021. Not the work of thrill-seekers or freelancers, but a highly disciplined arm of a much larger state-aligned cyber force. Their operations felt deliberate, almost military in structure, every move calculated, every step measured. Unlike criminal hackers chasing money or attention, Volt Typhoon behaves like an intelligence unit, trained for patience and silence. They aim directly at the machinery that powers modern society, the grids that light cities, the networks that keep transportation flowing, the communication systems that link governments and militaries across oceans. Wherever a nation would rely on information in the first critical hours of a crisis, Volt Typhoon has shown interest. And the more investigators studied them, the more a pattern began to form, a pattern tied to geopolitics and long-term strategy. Many in the intelligence community worry that Volt Typhoon's mission isn't just spying, it's preparation. Preparation for a future flashpoint, especially one centered around Taiwan. In such a scenario, disrupting communication or delaying a military response, even by minutes, could change the course of an entire conflict. But Volt Typhoon's approach is what makes them truly unsettling. They do not attack, they prepare, they move quietly, gathering knowledge of networks, mapping every path, understanding every device, and embedding themselves inside routers and edge systems that most organizations rarely check. And then, they wait. Not for days, but for months. Sometimes, even for years. Patient, silent, unseen. To experts watching closely, this no longer looks like simple espionage. It looks like pre-positioning, the digital equivalent of placing charges under key bridges long before a war begins, waiting only for the moment they are needed. Volt Typhoon is not planning for right now. They are planning for a moment the world has not yet reached, a moment they anticipate, and a moment the rest of us may not be ready for. But to truly understand how dangerous they are, we need to see what makes them nearly undetectable. we need to look at how they operate in total silence. Volt Typhoon does not hack the way most groups do. There are no loud break-ins, no malware storms, no obvious alarms. They slip in quietly and blend in instantly. Instead of dropping malicious files, they use the tools already inside the system. Every command they run looks normal. Every move feels routine. To most defenders, it appears as harmless activity until the pattern reveals itself. Their entry points are the devices no one pays attention to. Small routers, forgotten appliances, old systems left running in dusty corners of a network. Once inside, they don't rush. They watch, they learn, they map everything. Volt Typhoon behaves like a reconnaissance team that never leaves footprints. No corrupted files, no digital debris, just silent access, ready to be used when the moment is right. And that silence is their power. Even when investigators catch a glimpse of them, the trail dissolves back into everyday network traffic. They vanish into the noise, as if they were never there at all. But the real danger isn't their stealth. It's what they prepare for after they've slipped inside. Once Volt Typhoon slips inside a network, they do not strike. They wait. And that waiting is what makes them dangerous. For some groups, access is the final goal. For Volt Typhoon, access is only the beginning. Inside critical infrastructure, even a tiny foothold can change everything. A single compromised router in a port, a silent connection into a communication hub, a hidden pathway inside a power grid. None of it destroys anything on its own, but all of it shapes what could happen when pressure rises. Investigators fear that in the opening hours of a crisis, these quiet positions could be used to slow communication, confuse command structures, or delay movements that rely on precise timing, not by crashing systems outright, but by disrupting them just enough to cause hesitation, just enough to buy time. In modern conflict, time is power. Seconds matter, minutes matter. The first decisions made in the fog of uncertainty can determine what follows. Volt Typhoon appears designed to exploit that moment. The moment when confusion is highest, when leaders are scrambling for information, when the world is trying to understand what is unfolding. A carefully placed delay, a broken link, a network that suddenly runs slower than usual. It is subtle, it is quiet, and it could shift the balance before anyone even realizes a cyber attack has begun. This is not about shutting the world down, it is about shaping the battlefield. And that is why governments reacted with urgency when evidence of Volt Typhoon surfaced. Not because something had already happened, but because something had been prepared. They are not waiting for opportunity. They are waiting for the right moment. And understanding that moment, the moment Volt Typhoon is truly preparing for, brings us to the final chapter. Volt Typhoon has spent years moving through networks with the patience of a long game. They have mapped systems, studied weaknesses, and positioned themselves in places most people never think about. Places that only matter in the moment when everything is at stake. And it leaves us with a question we can no longer ignore. If this is what one group has already achieved, what else is waiting in the shadows of the networks we rely on every day? In a world where threats no longer arrive with noise, where the first strike is silent, and the battlefield is buried inside fiber and code, awareness is no longer optional. It is protection. And that is why companies like Telarus exist. Telarus uses advanced artificial intelligence to detect the kinds of threats that hide in plain sight, the quiet intrusions, the subtle anomalies, the signals that others miss. If you want to understand how modern cyber warfare works and how to defend against it, visit Telarus.com. If you found this story eye-opening, if you want more deep-dive cyber stories like this, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join me as we uncover the hidden battles shaping our digital world.